Human.
Yeah, but I bet you the Illuminati just had to know that I snitched for 20 years before they catch up to something that would probably restart the pandemic virus so that they do utopia. So, yeah, I just gotta kind of do nothing I was doing between 2019 and 2021 with the Chevy Cruze, the Chevy Equinox, me camping, and the places that I be at. Like, I could sacrifice doing those things to keep many, because Dollar General is kind of like a in Wichita, Kansas, it kind of really makes you hold in your poop until you bleed. So I could find something else to do. I already have like a $300 blow up tent. I gotta rebuy a tent stove because it really cooks your food as soon as you put the pot on the stove. And then I wanted to get an EcoFlow Wave 3 so I'm not always chopping wood. I wanted to get a 6-inch mini saw with 2 batteries. And then I wanted to get an induction stove, a power generator, a new solar panel. And I'm waiting for like an iPhone 18 Pro to come out or something. I'm kind of waiting for the Samsung S26 Note Ultra to come out, but I think Android and Samsung is a meth head chokehold's favorite gadget to use when because it's complicated. Android is a little more complicated than iPhone. It's complex. So when those hooligans aren't weaving through their phones the way they want to, that's when they'll calm down about sabotaging people imminently. That's how they know they're not going to nail their victims that day or that week. That's why I hate Android. I think it's a decoy platform for everybody to get on to Apple as soon as they get rid of how people don't know they whack boys. Man, I remember in California in 2021, I was getting gas deliveries from the tow trucks 30 times a week, I swear. Is that close? Hey, hon. Talking like, hey, hon. Hey, what's up? See you. I feel like the rollers and the train is haunting me right now. Like, it's February 12th, going on February 13th. And I think I got drugged before I ate Wendy's just now, too. So I just ended up here after my... Ah! Ah! A skunk is walking up to my car, girl. I think this skunk is saying, you're already doing what it won't take to get skunked. Damn. But yeah, the other day I guess I saw rollers hovering right there. Now there's some... You could tell in the street there's like something going on. Like right there to there. So I didn't pay anything. I don't know what they would want with me other than it being February 13th for like area code 213. But like we are Wichita, Kansas. I don't know. I think I got famous yesterday for mumbling that I just would never go to Hollywood ever again, because I found my calling on the East Coast. I just never get tired because of the hydration. It like lubricates your brain. And so I think I'm just kind of getting ran around because I don't know exactly what I want. But what I do be doing is already be going to Nashville on my way to South Carolina and on my way to Winter Park, Florida. So like, if I stay longer in Nashville, that's what's up. But I usually don't. I try to live in Columbia, South Carolina because I get to drive with the like government official limousines, or like they're like out all the time, y'all. They be, well, last time it was like silver. It was like 6 of them. And I looked out of the quarter about, and they're like hazard lights were blinking onto the cars in front of them and behind them. So I was like, hold up. And then I just tried not to overreact or not. Like, I was just trying to, like, as if, like, I would have already known what that was, right? For all I know, they could have been nuking everybody in all 6 limousines. They could have been incinerating them, but I don't know. I didn't look. Like, I think they would have said that if you look, you didn't already knew what that was. So that's the end of this video for now.
Feeling exposed. Feeling exposed.
So this is annoying. The GPS be acted shiesty, and then my AC always tries to waste the gas even when it's not all the way cold, and I turn the car back on. Then the auto stop should turn off and stay off until you turn it back on, and then like the music plays so that I end up losing my monetization over a video with music on it. So I had to turn that down for a minute, but everything's in a cumulative. Like, they drugged me in like the town before this one. So like I think Wichita did, because I went and slept at my mom's, my sister's, and my stepdad's house. And I told my dad, my stepdad, like, I was like, man, I really just can't move the car right now. I tried to eat some Wendy's to see if I could tone it down. So I spent the night over there. I saw a cop make a U-turn, so I was like, yeah, that's probably their last request for me to leave Wichita, Kansas before I end up a real retard. And then I think it was just really the air, you know? So all I have to do is it's usually, I tell Uber that whenever that happens, I usually just hit the highway and stay on my lane. But like, I've got so much rage in me. That rage was meant to kind of like do this in town instead of the highway thing. So my rage is just kind of like you know, driving normal, keeping my pace, understand that I just really always knew what the world was capable of. And even the rev in the background is everything happens for a reason. Looks like that's a black Ford Taurus because they think I'd go to Kansas City, Missouri. But I'm in Springfield right now, you know. Making my way east. I'm thinking about cutting through Alabama to get to Winter Park, Orlando, Florida. And it's because I want to avoid Nashville all the way. I feel like as soon as the Illuminati sees that I have enough money to get all the way around Nashville to where I'm going, they might, you know, sabotage me ASAP. But I usually like the I-40 route through Hendersonville, North Carolina, and kind of like straight east and straight south. But if I go from here, I would probably head towards Tupelo and then down through past Birmingham, and then I would go through Georgia. I like Atlanta would be like northeast of the direction I'm going from that point on. So I think it's pretty fun. I get to go through Tallahassee, and it's like T-Pain's favorite place to be. Obviously, I think that's where he was from. So I think the main idea, the main aspect of this is the Illuminati wants to make me a jitterbug, and just kind of anything the opposite of that brilliant person in those online grades. Like, I know I've been fighting for them to see me in person. I really don't even know if I'm flipping the switch the whole time I'm not there. But I just got word that I might, you know, get stuck because they're they're like a replacement is just fresh, and I'm like, I need 3 dental implants. I got robbed in 2017, June 1st, I think. I was on my way to Colorado, Denver that night with friends. That was 2017. I haven't spoke to 8 years now. Like blunts and stuff, because my favorite one was Gorilla Glue, the vape dab vape pen, and the yeah, that was it. Like I don't do any of that because I like to sing like a woman. So I learned not to annoy people about my voice and drink water. It just I don't even go to the bars to have a bottle of water and sing karaoke anymore because it's just me being old enough to get annihilated by assassins if they suspect that I'll cross-dress in front of little boys again one day. That was a nightlife thing for me, and I was in my company vehicle, supercinematographer.com. I had a 2017 black Chevy Cruze. I didn't get all black tinted windows on it until I was in Burbank, because those are mad cheap. They do tinted windows everywhere in Bakersfield. It's like I had to. I think I got my windows tinted with the same grade window tint as the expensive ones for less than $200. Yeah. Yeah, you remember when they used to use them little short nicknames for a bill is $100. Little short days for that. So I don't know what my mom was doing. All I know is that I'm aware of it, and I'm just gonna stay in my lane, nigga, because I ain't even supposed to be in the lane. You know what I mean? I'm out of harm's way when I'm out the lane, especially them 3-lane roads you want to avoid. I swear to God. You should have seen me in Hollywood in 2023, nigga. There was a silver sport Range Rover heading north towards Highway 99, and I knew what I saw because I smelled rocket fuel. I was like way far behind them. There were 2 cars next to them, like it was an idiosyncrasy, and then the idea would be not to smudge the windows. And so I drove past and kind of glanced, but I didn't look all the way in because I didn't want to get soul swapped into the back seat. Plus, my seatbelt was blocking me from looking all the way back there. The white guy had a grin, and the girl was just, yeah. So like a few seconds later, all of Los Angeles rushed north with me. It was so funny. The idea was that even though I act like a little boy, I still knew what a Range Rover was. So that's what I thought was funny, because when I was like in Emporia getting ready to go to Sacramento and down to LA, my neck got a cramp all the way to California because I forgot to drink a lot of water that time, and then I never have a pillow. So unless I'm using it for Minnie's airbag, and then I turn it into a pillow. But at the time, I had a cramp, like I wasn't supposed to turn my head. I was supposed to act like all the things that I snitched, and for me to just drive by like a little boy that didn't know danger. So it was fun. Even a Range Rover was rushing north. The highway was blocked and fun. It was like, as soon as I glanced at the Range Rover, my gas ran out, and I was getting 50 gas deliveries a week with OnStar that year. So let's see, I'm on my way to pick up my second Uber Eats delivery, and I guess I'm doing good. I don't know if I just should mind my own business and stay in my lane the way I'm acting right now. But yeah, even Minnie's fine. Look at her tucked away, and my boo. And then I had to hurry up and grab some tater tots for Burger King and some ice cream. And then when I was making a big McDonald's delivery, I asked for water, but I'm afraid of McDonald's to Whataburger. All summed up in a nutshell, you guys. I gotta make a right and a left. Come on, babe. Think I'm looking client from over here. There I go. It's just acting shy. Yeah. Way busy, y'all. I've been all the way from the East Coast through Springfield, Missouri, back to Wichita, and was all in the mix with my misfits. And then I came back this way, and now I'm in Nashville. I was just saying, like, right when I clock out, I feel like I make some weird little mistake. Like, I could think I'm gonna clock out all day, but when I actually do it, something tries to get me to, like, not call it a night. Almost every time it's something little. Like, I eased off the wrong off ramp too early, so that wasn't the problem, because that looked sleek. Only I knew that that was the wrong street to turn down. But then it was like a car was turning right while I was backing up, and if it wasn't 25 miles an hour neighborhood, then I would have been way more worried. So looks like I could have turned down the one across the street from that, but it was I had to like zoom in, and it was like an off ramp. So it really don't bother me until something is trying to make sure that every night is gonna be like me not having a peaceful night. It's just magical like that, man. But I deciphered it only works in Tulsa, Nashville, and South Carolina. But I'm about to drop off a $30 order, and that may not even include the tip already. May or may not. I can't tell when they hold the tips up top. It'd be like I thought I was getting this for that, but instead of that, but then I found out later where that money went missing, and then it helps settle that. Okay, I need to solve some numbers. I felt like there was perfect traffic at the beginning of the day. I mean, just like people were merging left or merging right as I was merging left, and vice versa. We were just like in sync. Now there was like a traffic stop on the highway, so I took exit 79 to take another way to this drop off. But yeah, South Carolina in Nashville with me, it's so magical. You know, this ain't nothing new to me, but I just wanted to share it that I missed out on posting video of Mississippi's ice storm and everything, because I could have slept there, and it had some daytime footage and maybe made 50, 100, 200, 500, 1,000, $2,000 off of sending it to the news. But I mean, I thought they could get their own footage, but it just would have been how out-of-towners travel through there and they think they can get through there, and then all of a sudden you're like 4 hours into it and you gotta turn around because the tree branches that all the way at the end of a curb had 10 cars sleeping there waiting on a miracle, and you were lucky to be at the very back so you could back up and try not to get stuck. Then you signal a Nissan Rogue not to get stuck there, and she's got enough time to make a left at the next intersection or a U-turn. But I would have went the way that somebody tells me to turn around, maybe, because I went all the way back up to Memphis to go through Nashville to come back down. So, and that was in this rental. I had it on live where I kind of was sliding left and right, and I caught myself back on track. I got myself straightened out of that. It was gonna go down on one of my YouTube videos. They're like all like 2 hours long, because been doing all this, but sometimes I feel. So, in case y'all didn't get that last part, I was just saying that it'd be too dangerous to film stuff sometimes, and I feel like all I gotta do is just act like I don't know I'll never come back. Because that time my screen was just closed and it wasn't even about the Uber app cutting me off when I stroll to a delivery job. Oh, and by the way, Magic here in Nashville, Tennessee thinks that I'm jump cutting these edits, but this is all going on a video that left off when I was going through Missouri to get to Wichita, and then some in Wichita, and then back at Springfield, and then here in Nashville. And I'll get back to y'all in case they just don't use Magic. They just don't snitch Magic when it comes to how they learned how to whack boys. So Nashville Wicked hacked the Uber app to make me think that I'm missing a delivery to drop off. So I turned off my location to the Uber app until I get to past Hendersonville, North Carolina. And they probably think I'm gonna go down Highway 75, but they have a whirlpool in their lake. I bet you they have a whirlpool in that lake. So I'm doing my normal route that y'all been seeing, and then Nashville's crazy. I've got this on the window right here because I have 6.1 years of 5.0 ratings, and that doesn't make sense that those were only 2,206 rides, because retards like Nashville is trying to boot me off of getting to Full Sail University, and I could care less why they hate me. They should feel really crazy for that. I always skipped to West Hollywood and Sacramento before I ever thought of the East Coast. Before I ever thought of Nashville and Atlanta, it took the pandemic virus massacre. Okay? So I'm chopping it up with Uber support. But like I always do, I tell them when that happens, I hit the highway, stay in my lane, and I think they drugged me, but since they couldn't ruin how my orders go, the app glitched something in there where I think I'm missing a delivery. So I had dropped off that last delivery and the one that I was delivering. I'm just confused. Nashville always does that. I mean, like, it's only in Nashville. I do this in every other big city. They're gonna end up flipping the switch on other cities to get it to look like it's not just Nashville, and then they'll wait how many weeks, how many months. Do they need it before the end of my rental, or do they need it before I make it all the way to Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida? Like, that's all they do is sabotage. And sometimes I'm thinking it's because I'm not snitching. So there you have it. I got stuff I gotta do, and I think Magic tells me, and everybody thinks that as long as I know what that is, I should be fine. And now I know what that is, and we've got a lot of leeway behind the wheel. it tries to get you to be in the wrong lane when you make a left, so that you have to make a right after you make a left. But you could always fall back in a parking lot and take 20 minutes if you have to pull back out in the lane. And that's what I did. And all of the sudden, it felt like I had 3 orders instead of the 2 that I picked up. And then I was on my way to drop off something with blueberry in it. Then I thought my last pickup was, it doesn't matter. I needed the sunglasses with the video recorder only in 4K and all that, night vision, and I backed out of my GoPro that was only $100 for 240 frames per second in slow-mo at 1080p. I wanted that, but I backed out of it and got this instead. I needed this because this power bank can plug straight into the wall. Now, not as powerful as the Anker 737. I think this was called the Anker Prime, but it's cute. So we're on our way. And that's got my car looking this messy, but it ain't. Like, that's not even sugar granules, by the way. Yeah, so I got pulled over by the cops after I left Nashville, thinking they drugged me, and when I went and wreck, they ruined my Uber app to where I got my orders confused, and I had no product to deliver on the last order. So now it looks like they're trying to get me to drive past the police station outside of Nashville, and then they tried to have me drive up some mud. And I know genetics kinds of hates me in Nashville. It doesn't work in Tennessee, but it works like that in Nashville. So if I cannot get around there, it would have been because they thought I wasn't wise enough to fight to keep on a hard road. But I think I'm going all the way around this and overriding the directions and hoping it's the right location, because what I'm delivering isn't just something that's supposed to be thrown away. Okay, so I made it here on gravel. I'm coming. Getting some fresh air. Take 25 miles per hour seems fast right now. Well, I'm going offline for tonight. That was just a lot. Cause what was bugging me the most is this nigga that was in some black four-door sedan after I had parked at a place called Braza Chicken. For 2 orders, I had 1 order ping while I was waiting on a 15-minute order. And the cops were already backed into the parking lot. I went outside, I played Pokemon Go for a second, went inside. Then I came back outside because that black car was sitting there with their hazard lights on. So I said I could react fast. So I went across the street to put gas in my car, and I used my gloves for that, because who knows how sick people get from pumping gas. And I left to get the food and cross the street with the food to the gas station. And then I just like made my delivery. But when stuff like that happen, it's like, how are they trying to like fake my car? Like, how are they trying to fake my death? How are they trying to fake my disappearance? Sometimes you really don't want to say you're going somewhere unless that's where you go, because they'll just pick right up on it as soon as they can. So sometimes I feel like upon in a wicked scheme, and maybe I'm making a point the way I react, hoping that they've already learned how you have some spunk in you sometimes. And I usually translate it into sharper driving. That I translate my rage into stay in my lane, pay attention to my surroundings, keep up with traffic. But what had happened to me in Tennessee already, it was like the semi truck must have been going slower than 55 miles an hour. And so when I was coasting, I was far behind them. And I noticed what the cop was doing in my blind spot. And I was thinking that they were kind of seeing what they could see out of my gauge and stuff. But when they blooped me, I was like, oh my god, are they harassing me? Like, I really planned it on that being my last time in Nashville. Like, any other town was cool, but it's like when I'm in Nashville, they sabotage me. They sabotage my Uber trip request. It's like 2 out of 50 ruins my rating out of each day in Nashville almost. Like, so far it's only been 2 times out of the 3 years that I've started going on the East Coast. Wait, yeah. And those 2 times were this year. And I think those 2 times were in this rental. So they just be trying to show off. So you better act like y'all know, or people act like they don't know so they could get those victims over whatever. But I'm like trying not to be followed by people. I want to go to Flying J's with some baby shampoo for Minnie and the laundromat and just go to sleep tonight. And this should be the end of this segment because I took so long to make this recent video. And so the next chapter, when I get to Orlando, Florida, I'm probably gonna drop the act to be remonetized on my Facebook. Cause y'all, I was getting it was helping. That money was helping, girl. I mean, you could get to Nashville from Wichita with that money. Pretty much. I'm kind of like maybe headed towards Blythewood since I wasn't heading downtown. But that's where the debit card reading washer and dryers are at. My father's neck of the woods. Lord knows I'm gonna go park in Blythewood in his front yard. I might as well give y'all a tour, y'all. Hold up. Can I get directions to Blythewood, South Carolina?
Location by car in light traffic.
I think it automatically does that because I'm on the Uber app on this screen. Let's see if it's just one of my most recent. Yeah, do I need to go to that car? I could cheat a little, just put in the car wash. Ain't no object in the road. No object in the road. I just ain't even gonna answer it. Yo, is my thing recording? Okay. Okay, so gas is like $2.48. I loved it in 2023-ish. I could have sworn the gas was like $1.60. Like $2.23. Man, I could have swore the gas was down to like $1.80, and it went up every time I get out of my rental, and I say, hey, I'm not trying to drive Uber anymore. Like, oh, there go that object in the. I guess the car wasn't like moving because I was at the intersection traffic light, so it expected us to see the object in the road while we were still moving, so that notification went out, y'all. So yeah, I said something about when I was in high school there was this place that used to be a pizza place called Po' Boys. And then they turned it into some Mexican restaurant, and I felt traumatized for that happening. Because as you can see, a lot of that stuff is going on, getting rid of immigrants and them thinking that they're part of the problem, hopefully not the whole problem. But I noticed that I can only eat Taco Bell because if I eat authentic food, that'll make me have some sort of crazy spending limit habit. Like I will just not have that self-discipline that keeps my money in my bank when I eat that authentic Mexican food. I remember one time in Wichita, they were like, "Are you sure you want to order this?" And you know, I was thinking, oops. They meant, am I sure I wanted to feed that to my dog? So, Taco Bell will be the only kind of tacos and burritos I can eat. Taco Tico is fine. Taco Bueno, that place, I don't know where that went. But I'm afraid to eat Mexican food. I cannot afford to blow $1,000 in a week over gas and food and my rental and driving more than I'm staying put. So I kind of think that the ideal would be just not to go to Asheville, North Carolina, Nashville, Tennessee, and this is some Sevierville, Tennessee. You know, I kind of almost forgot how much they get their victims. Okay, y'all, I swear to God. And then Kansas City sabotaged me in the metallic baby blue Ford Escape. But I understand that Uber's really not a nice way to put it. You be the E-or bitch. Well, I'm afraid of Lyft being robbed to turn into some handicap business, y'all, because for real. But it don't matter. I don't have to explain I'm not delivering food with Lyft. So, once I get my direct deposit from Social Security, I owe Lyft, the driver app, $75 for a tow to get gas like 3 years ago, y'all. That's my proof that if you see that 2015 Equinox that got stolen from me driving around, I got that thing mixed up with the Kansas temporary tag and the California tag. 9FBB026. So I think they're doing it in case I'm in a very nice Uber rental. So nice that I can't ruin the image of it. I mean, they found a loophole for that. That car. So in 2024 to 2025, I was camping instead of driving. And so every time I so-called flip the switch to me driving for Uber, I feel taunted. When I get back on the road, things are just more strict. It's like if I'm gonna be dirty once, I might as well be like dirty the whole time. Who makes up these rules? Okay, because I'm thinking it's majority rules with that Range Rover though. Oh. So I gotta end this video here and clear some space so my Samsung. And then I'm scared to go to Orlando, Florida. I think these people everywhere is working me up to lose in Florida. Y'all, have you seen the internet and how much drama happens there too? Like, they like to put their victims on the news. They hella put their victims on the news. That's so everybody keeps their stories straight on their victims too, y'all. Every fix could just go either way, and I'd rather just say what I have to say and hope they interpret it fast enough. Wait, hold up. How that brake go turn on audio? Can I turn this off? It's gonna stay on auto, y'all.